To provide secure access from external locations and over the Internet, we need to deploy the VMware Unified Access Gateway within the corporate environment DMZ or internal network. The gateway is deployed as a virtual appliance. There are several ways to deploy the appliance. To simplify deployment, we will use the Unified Access Gateway deployment utility, available from the link below. Go to the VMware Flings website. Tick the box to agree to the Tech Preview licensing terms and click the Download button. Extract the zip file and run the installer. Click Install. Click Finish. As mentioned in the introduction video, it is vitally important that you have created functioning forward and reverse DNS records in advance of the installation of the Unified Access Gateway. Failure to do this may result in a failed installation. Launch the deployment utility. Click Deploy. Click Next. Accept the terms of the license agreement and click Next. Enter the fully qualified domain name of your vCenter server and then enter the credentials of a user with administrative permissions. Click Next. Click Yes to accept the certificate thumbprint. Select a folder where the Unified Access Gateway will be deployed and click Next. Select the host or cluster where the Unified Access Gateway will be deployed and click Next. Browse to the location where you downloaded the Unified Access Gateway OVA file. Enter the VM name you want to give to the Unified Access Gateway. Enter the root and admin passwords you will use to access the appliance. Click Next. Choose a data store location with enough free space for the appliance. As this is a lab, we will choose to thin provision in order to save space. You can deploy the gateway appliance with 1, 2 or 3 network adapters depending on your security requirements. We will choose a 2-NIC deployment with one network adapter being used for external traffic and the other network adapter for internal traffic and management. Enter the IP information requested for each network adapter you want to configure. Enter the DNS server IP address and the IP address of the default gateway. Click Next. Decide if you want to enroll in the VMware CEIP program and click Next. View your chosen settings and click Deploy. Click Close. Great work! We can now proceed to configure the UAG to work with VMware Horizon. The Unified Access Gateway supports multiple use cases, but for the purposes of this video, we will focus on providing secure external access to desktops managed by Horizon 7 on premises. Open a web browser. Go to the URL of the Access Gateway and append port 9443. Click on Advanced and proceed to the admin login page. Enter the admin credentials you specified during deployment and click the Login button. Click the Select button to manually configure the Access Gateway. To configure Horizon, we need to enable the Edge service settings. Click on the gear icon to configure Horizon settings. Click Enable Horizon. Enter the fully qualified domain name of your connection server. Choose IPv4 from the drop-down. Enable Blast. Enter the URL you have configured externally to access your desktop pools. This will typically be a DNS record that has been configured in your public domain. Open a browser tab and enter the URL of your connection server. Click to view the site information and select to show the certificate details. Click the Details tab and view the certificate thumbprint details. Copy the certificate thumbprint information and paste it into the connection server URL thumbprint field of the Access Gateway. Proceed the thumbprint with the secure hash algorithm for the certificate. Click Save. Click the refresh button to view the status. After a few seconds, all areas that we have configured should show as green. Now let's open a browser and try to access our platform using the external facing URL. You can see that we are still using a self-signed certificate. We want to ensure that we are using a certificate signed by a certificate authority. Let's address that now by going back to our Unified Access Gateway and installing a signed certificate. Under Advanced Settings, click the gear icon next to the TLS Server Certificate Settings. Tick the box to bind the certificate to the Internet-facing interface. I have a PFX wildcard certificate that I am using to secure traffic. I'll enter the certificate password and click Save. With our signed certificate now installed, let's check it works by testing it in our browser. As you can see, we have a secure padlock, and if we check the certificate details, we can see it has been signed by a trusted certificate authority. There are 2 more steps we need to perform to complete our configuration. In the Horizon Admin Console under Setting, choose Servers and highlight the Gateways tab. Click the Register button and add the name of your Unified Access Gateway. Click OK. Click on the Connection Servers tab. Select your connection server and click the Edit button. Ensure the Do Not Use BLAS Secure Gateway option has been selected and click OK. Let's go ahead and check that we can log in successfully from an external client. Launch the Horizon client and create a new connection using the Access Gateway external DNS name. Click Connect. You can see our certificate is valid and our connection will be secure. Enter the details of an entitled user and click Login. Double-click the desktop pool icon to launch a desktop session. Fantastic! We are now configured for secure remote access. Although we can now broker client connections, I briefly want to highlight some architectural decisions you will need to consider. To ensure predictable performance when architecting the Horizon 7 platform, we need to ensure that we adhere to VMware recommendations. We need to also minimize the risk of downtime by ensuring that we design the solution with redundancy in mind. Follow the sizing guidelines specified in the document listed below. In this article, VMware defines sizing guidelines for all of the components related to Horizon 7. I want to draw your attention to those related to the connection server and the Unified Access Gateway that we have deployed. You can see here that the recommendation is not to exceed 2,000 sessions per connection server or access gateway. In our deployment, this means that we can scale to this number of connections. However, if one of these components fail, our users will lose access to the platform as we have not built in any resiliency at this point. What we need to do is build in redundancy to ensure that failure of any component will not result in loss of access. Here is a diagram showing how we can achieve our goal. You can see that we have redundant copies of the connection server as well as the Unified Access Gateway. We have introduced the concept of load balancers to facilitate failover in the event of any server going offline. In addition, this provides the benefit of giving your users a single URL where any component failure will be transparent. You should always design with a minimum N+1 approach in mind. Well, that covers the basic steps of setting up a Horizon 7 trial for your environment. I hope you enjoyed watching. Click on the subscribe button below to be notified when new videos are released.